Human trafficking is modern day slavery, and Alameda County, unfortunately, is at the heart of the problem in this country. We're the third largest hub for human trafficking, and we're perfectly suited for people to take advantage of our geographic proximity to San Francisco and San Jose, and being able to travel both north and south. And so it is so important for us as a community to come together to fight modern day slavery.
Being here with District Attorney Price is so huge for me. When I met her and I understood she was the attorney that took the time to travel out of state and bring back one of our own, it just brought tears to my eyes. It brought joy to my heart to partner with somebody that's dedicated to changing the outcomes for young girls who don't have a choice about life until we get them and interrupt the horrible path that they've been set on.
My administration has made it a priority to address gender justice in Alameda County, and human trafficking is at the heart of that. Launching these billboards at the Oakland International Airport is so important because we are a hub for human trafficking, and we have to have new initiatives and bring new energy to the problem. We have to publicize it, we have to give people resources, and we have to let the world know that it's a problem that we have to fight for. And so that's what we're doing by launching this billboard campaign.
I represent Oakland Council District 2. It includes the San Antonio neighborhood. Many people know International and East 15th Street as where a lot of street-level human trafficking is concentrated. It has the nickname the Blade. And this is where the impacts are really visible. We see women, we even see children on the streets. So it's really impacting not only the survivors, it's also impacting neighbors, people going to school, going to church, going to parks, our business community. It's a very, very important public safety priority.
As I travel the world, I see other places, other airports, where the problem of human trafficking is highlighted and resources are provided to survivors and for those who want a new way of life. And so I thought it was important for Alameda County to take a step forward under my administration to launch this billboard campaign, which is part of our ongoing effort and focus on ending human trafficking in Alameda County and the world. Thank you all for coming. This is so important that our community comes out, and we're honored to have many people come here today representing folks that have been on the front lines for decades and those of us who have seen the impact that human trafficking has on our communities and who are committed to addressing this problem. This is a billion-dollar industry, and we're here to announce the initiative of our administration under my leadership. We are initiating a new effort to combat human trafficking in Alameda County, which starts right here today with the launch of our billboard campaign at the Oakland International Airport. I first want to acknowledge my staff, because I have an amazing staff at the Alameda County District Attorney's Office that every day reaches out to those who need our help, serves victims, stands up for what is right and for what we can do to help heal the harm in our community, whether it's domestic violence, and I want to acknowledge that this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and I urge you all to wear purple every day. But also in victims of crime, where trauma and violence impacts our community, our staff is there, our team is there. And it is no less important for us to address the scourge of human trafficking, which comes to Alameda County. We're the third largest hub in the country. And so we're mindful of that and very, very committed and dedicated. And I work with a dedicated team. We recently pulled together all the people in our office who have had some role in combating human trafficking, and they are now the HEART team, and you all know who you are, and I'm very proud of them for supporting this initiative and for supporting our administration. I want to acknowledge as well Councilwoman Nikki Fortunato Bas, who will be addressing us, but we're very honored that she is here with us. We're honored to have the co-chairs and members of something that my predecessor started called Alameda County United. And that's Dr. Mays and Amber Johnson. Thank you both for continuing the work, for doing what you have done over the history of the Alameda County District Attorney's Office and in our community to highlight this issue. So many people work. We're honored to have representatives from the Oakland Department of Violence Prevention, and knowing, thank you, that you are doing this work in the trenches every day. We're honored to have a representative, Hattie Tate, from the Oakland Unified School District, who also works daily with our CSEC program. We're honored to have representatives from the FBI and Homeland Security, because we appreciate that partnership, and we are committed to expanding and continuing the partnership. Recently, our advocates participated in a program called Operation Cross Country that was initiated by the FBI to address human trafficking in the Bay Area. And we had two of our advocates that we were very honored that they were willing to take the time and participate and do the work of addressing human trafficking in collaboration with the FBI. Much of human trafficking, as we know, as we're being in the hub of it internationally, it starts in our community, but it goes all around the world. And the transportation hub is a critical place where we, as Alameda County, as the home of the Oakland International Airport, we need to have a presence. We need to let people know as they travel through our borders that there are people who are being slaved, who are being traded for sex, for labor, and that is an unacceptable situation, whether it touches us locally, whether it touches us internationally, regionally. We have to be a partner and a leader in stopping human trafficking in the Bay Area. And so we have initiated these wonderful billboards, my team, the HEART team, and our communications department, in collaboration with the Oakland International Airport staff. And I want to acknowledge the airport as well as the Port of Oakland for allowing us and being a partner with us to address this problem, and not hesitating when we said, this is something we want to do. I have traveled the world, and many places I have been, I regularly go through the airports, and I see what other communities have done to highlight this problem and to fight it. And we're doing the work, and so I just thought it was important for us to highlight it. And so we have 6 billboards around the airport. You will see them. They're quite large, and they are in 3 different languages, and they say, "End human trafficking and support survivors." And our team wanted as well, not just to say that we want to end it, we want it to survivors and people who are looking for a new life, who need to have alternatives. We wanted to make sure that we provided those resources. And so when you click on the QR code, we created a list of resources locally for people if they are trapped here and they're trying to get free. And one of the things that my team also recognizes, we have to have a commitment not only to bring survivors out, but to bring them out safely. Public safety is the commandment of the district attorney's office, and there is no better place for us to make sure that survivors have a safe way to get out and a safe place to go. More recently, we've experienced over the summer a number of alerts of missing women, missing girls in our community who are disappearing, and they probably came through this airport. And so as we have to close those portals, and that's what we're committed to do. And it's not just going out, it's coming in. We understand when we see women and people brought here from other places that they are here in a strange place, they have to know that we care. And that is the mission of our HEART team, is that to show our community, our young people, our survivors, that we care. And we are going to do our part to make a safe place for you. So we want survivors to be able to reach out to the authorities to help them escape to a new life. We want travelers to be aware that fellow passengers may be involved in this crime. And if you see some unusual activity, or if you see someone that just doesn't look right, your first question should be, are you safe? Are you safe? Do you have the right to come and go as you please? Are you on your own? Because it is slavery. And it's fundamentally, people are being held hostage against their will, manipulated and exploited. My office has an entire division of victim witness advocates that provide services on the front lines to victims and survivors and witnesses in this community. And I want to acknowledge Christina Molina, the director of our Victim Witness Advocates Division, who does an amazing job, who has done an incredible job to diversify and expand the services that we provide, with a particular focus on young people and our children who are experiencing trauma and violence in this community every day. But Ebony James is a member of our victim witness team, and also a very wonderful person that has come to us under my administration, who is so dedicated. There is no time that she is not called to go out on the streets to reach out and talk to a survivor, that she does not answer that call. So please welcome Ebony James.
Not only am I an advocate, I am a survivor of child abuse, sexual molestation, and manipulation. I was an easy target because I grew up in a group home. Both of my parents were on drugs. I wasn't loved properly or protected in my home because I lived with my molester. Since I've been with the Alameda County District Attorney's Office, I've come across multiple cases that has led me to believe that the need for this work should be more publicized, highlighted, and taken a deeper look at. These young victims out here do not stand a chance if we keep turning our heads and labeling them as fast prostitutes, just want to be grown and hard-headed. These assumptions need to stop. In fact, they have been targeted, manipulated, and victimized. These young victims either live in fear from a pimp, or these 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, and 14-year-olds believe that this is the love they have never gotten. At the Alameda County District Attorney's Office, Madam DA Pamela Price has made it a priority that we meet weekly to come up with a plan to save our children. The exploitation of our children, your children, or anyone else's children will not be tolerated, because who care? We care, and you will be held accountable.
I'd also like to acknowledge at this time and request that the Executive Director of Love Never Fails come, Ms. Vanessa Russell.
We are an organization that started 12 years ago because I was working in tech and I was teaching inner city kids dance, and one of my 15-year-old dance students was raped in the city of Hayward and then sold throughout California, but very heavily sold in Oakland, right off of East 14th. And this is when I had a rude awakening that this was happening to not somewhere over there, to children from another place, although it is also happening to people that are being brought from across the seas. But the majority of the cases are of US-born women, children, men, girls, and boys. And it is heartbreaking, not only sex trafficking, but labor trafficking. Any violation of someone's human rights to move as they move freely and to have the liberty to say no is an atrocity committed against all of us. And for me, it wasn't something I could look away from. And so I started Love Never Fails 12 years ago. And 12 years later, we have housed over 250 men, women, children, people throughout Alameda County in homes. We have 7 homes, and that is one of the resources that the District Attorney's Office will be providing, and that the Department of Violence Prevention in Oakland has been funding. And so we want to thank people for putting the steps in place to make sure that the resources are there. Ebony talked about being a child that was being abused in her home. I too was in foster care. I too am a survivor of childhood rape, abuse, and a variety of other difficulties, domestic violence as an adult. There is an incredible intersectionality between childhood abuse, domestic violence, and human trafficking, and gun violence, by the way. We've been hearing about gun violence going on in Oakland, and one of our council members, Ramachandran, spoke with OPD and found out that there's 40% of the shootings in Oakland are connected to domestic violence and human trafficking. We need to get this narrative out. The intersectionality between gun violence, family violence, youth violence, and human trafficking and domestic violence is undeniable. It is time that we change the narrative and that we put the resources, as was mentioned earlier, the housing, the workforce development, the mental health services, the legal services. All of it is needed if we truly are committed to this work. And today marks a new day where we are putting a stake in the ground and saying, yes, we're going to go forward in unity with all of the things that are needed to truly create change. And for that, I'm grateful. So thank you.
So we have an amazing staff. I want to ask Councilwoman Nikki Fortunato Bas, who made time out of her busy schedule to come and join us and have a few words. She's another passionate warrior on this issue.
Trafficking of people for their labor has gone on from generations, from slavery to workers in our fields and our garment factories to sexual exploitation, and we need to call it what it is: human exploitation, and address the root causes that perpetrate this harm, as well as the shorter-term interventions that will disrupt it. I've worked with many stakeholders, including many of you in this room, in communities on human trafficking over the past 5 years as a council member, and that's because we recognize that this exploitation and the impacts on our communities is unacceptable. And it's also an issue that's very personal to me. I'm a survivor of sexual assault, and I empathize with what women and children are experiencing every single day out in our communities. Our children are impacted, and we're witnessing an increasing amount of gun violence that is connected to human trafficking, and that has resulted in the loss of life. It's completely unacceptable. In Oakland's District 2, which I represent, where along International and other streets, street-level human trafficking is concentrated, I've worked in collaboration with OPD to shift the focus to exploiters. I've worked with the Department of Violence Prevention, and I want to appreciate our staff who are here today, Kelly Dillon and Sarah and Chris. DVP has been working to increase street-level outreach and services to young women and children, not only with our staff, but in partnership with community-based organizations, many of whom are survivor-led. And we've also been creative working with OCDOT on environmental improvements, from better lighting to speed bumps to traffic diverters that are reducing the impacts on our communities. And it's going to take all of us doing so much more, because this has gone on for decades and we all have to take more action. District Attorney Price, I am very pleased to be standing together with you and your team, taking action today, launching this awareness campaign. So the City of Oakland is also very committed to taking action. And lastly, I'll say that we need justice and accountability for those causing this harm. And I know that our district attorney is going to lead that work in partnership with all of us. We also need resources and diversion for those being exploited, because at the end of the day, women and children need to put food on the table, need a roof over their heads, and need a job to pay the bills. And so this is a priority for me, and I think for all of us here today, we can safely say it's a public safety priority for all of us. And I look forward, on behalf of the City of Oakland, doing even more to work in collaboration across all of our branches of government, among all of our communities, to end the exploitation that we know as human trafficking. Thank you again, DA Price, for your leadership. Thank you to your team and to all of the government and community partners who are here today.
Thank you, Councilwoman Fortunato Bas. Our councilwoman is right. This is a public safety issue. This is a priority for our office, and if you are trafficking, pimping, it's a new day for you in Alameda County. Don't get it twisted. It's a new day for you in Alameda County because we are not having it here.